Hello guys and welcome to the channel. I am Marv. This is going to be the Moon Pools podcast. We're going to be highlighting the full moon in Gemini. If you are catching this podcast by way of the Marvelous Enlightenment channel, thank you so much. Make sure you like and subscribe. If you are capturing this podcast by way of my main channel, Readings by Marvelous Madame Tarot, thank you so much. Please make sure that you like and subscribe. If you're new here, we do this every single month where we highlight the new moon and the full moon, even the eclipses. Additional astrological things will be highlighted on the Marvelous Enlightenment channel specifically when I do the podcast version of what is actually on my website. As I tell you guys all the time, if there is any significant astrology that's going on, and I am not going to be talking about it, it will be on my website, such as, when planets move into Juno. If I feel like it is relevant to the month and I want to talk about it, because obviously there's so many things that happens in a month in astrology that I may not be able to cover. So when in doubt, or your curiosity, if you're a reader and into astrology like me, go and see what I had to say about it. And that is going to be found on www.marvelousmadame.com. With this particular full moon, there was a whole lot that I had to say. I'm not going to get into today on this podcast, but I suggest please that you go and read what full moon in Gemini and Sun and Sag means for us collectively, which is a very interesting little article, especially when, you look at the differences but similarities of those particular two zodiac signs. And I did a bit of an article talking about like the year-end reflection. So if you're interested in that, you will see everything that I am saying here, as well as those additional tidbits of information on my website, again, www.marvelousmadame.com. And so I'm going to tell you that I am overcompensating for the raspiness in my voice. Please adjust the volume on your end, because due to that overcompensation, I had to crank my volume all the way up just to ensure that when my voice is going out, that you can still at least hear what I'm saying. I apologize for that in advance. Everything will be time stamped, as you know. This will be the podcast version, and when the screen changes, we will get into the actual moon pools portion, or the video portion of this audio video podcast. Everything again is time stamped, and without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. One last thing I want to let you know. Typically during my podcast, we reflect. We have full moon reflections. And in my new moons, we affirm. We have new moon affirmations. I decided that I would leave that for the article. I wanted to just talk about this particular moon a little bit different. So I will be giving you a by signs, but I will not be giving you a full moon reflection. So don't get thrown off if you are one of those who listens to me constantly or quite frequently. All right, again, without further ado, let's get started. The human journey is intricate, propelling us to dwell into life's depths in searching for profound meaning, if I can speak. Being mindful of your thoughts in the present moment can aid you in deciphering the impact of this full moon for each of you, all 12 zodiac signs. The inquiries you pose also have the potential to unveil potent wisdom. Beyond serving as a period for introspection, the full moon reveals concealed truths. However, under the unique influence of this Gemini moon, even the authenticity of truth may be questioned. Your internal GPS your GPS might instruct you, for example, to turn right, which will contradict your memory, because you completely remembered that maybe you were supposed to turn left, or maybe when you turn right, that would be a dead end. So you're being guided to exercise prudence in your judgments, whether it be online information or shared gossip, all right? The cosmic order of the zodiac sheds on our spiritual evolution. Following intensive introspection and shadow work during Scorpio season, the Archer season will present us with an opportunity for a rebirth. With the sun illuminating the spirited realm of Sagittarius, a newfound sense of hope and optimism will emerge. Ruled by the expanse of Jupiter, the planet of abundance and spiritual wisdom, this abundant season always brings gifts. Every experience holds a touch of magic, and pivotal moments reshape your perception of reality. Despite the human inclination for certainty, it's a fleeting concept. So this is where the essence of Sagittarius becomes significant, urging you to embrace faith and venture into the unknown. Considering exploring the astrological axis of the Gemini Sagittarius in your birth chart, as these two houses will be activated during this full moon, which will of course influence your experiences. On November 27th at 4:16 a.m. Eastern, the full moon will reach its zenith at 4 degrees of Gemini. As a familiar concept, the full moon signifies an emotional peak and a moment of completion. This occurs when the sun directly opposes the moon, underscoring the tension between our inner emotions, moon, and our external world, the sun. Recall the new moon in Gemini on June 18th, particularly in terms of communication, information, and mental awareness. If you've been diligently pursuing a goal with a mentor, it's natural to question the authenticity of your learning now. While keeping broader perspective in mind, guys, view this as an opportunity to integrate your intuitive wisdom into the equation. Full moons possess the ability to shed on aspects hidden from our conscious awareness, urging us to remain receptive to unexpected possibilities and information. The inherent duality of Gemini plays a crucial role in this lunar event, while alternative answers are always present. Amidst the influence of the truth-seeking Sagittarius with the Sun, Mercury, and Mars all aligned, guys, there will be a compelling force that will encourage us to take risks and trust our internal guidance, even when the answers elude us. However, the challenge lies with the fact that Mercury, the ruling planet of this moon, finds itself in a challenging position, making the integration of thoughts with actions a more complex task than it may seem. Now, I want to just break script for a second because that's interesting. I find that if you are a person that doesn't have an issue making decisions, this is probably going to be a little bit more hectic for you in some ways because it's going to be tricky. But if you are a person that struggles with making decisions, it's probably going to be, again, a little bit harder for you because this energy is encouraging us to make the decisions despite whether we know whether we're making the right decision. But on the flip side of that coin, if this is a strong suit for you anyway, this may be a little foggy, but it may not be as difficult to navigate as the other individuals. All right. Moving on. In addition to entering a pre-shadow phase of retrograde, which actually, guys, was yesterday on the 25th, as I'm recording this. Mercury is set to retrograde on December the 13th. Mercury, the messenger, will grapple with an enigmatic square to Neptune. This implies that while we're receiving a surge of information during the full moon, which will be encompassing communication, detail, insights, and messages, some aspects will remain obscure, and our intuition will signal this ambiguity. Despite harboring goals and resolutions for 2024, a full disclosure of details may be still pending, right? The sun and moon and Mars will also clash with Saturn, disciplined Saturn, potentially contributing to any other delays that you may be encountering. Undoubtedly, divine timing is in effect, guys, so resist letting these inner hitches divert you from your long-term aspirations and dreams. If you find yourself grappling and struggling to maintain inspiration, utilize the wisdom that you've uncovered to propel yourself forward, okay? So before I get into the all signs, again, I just want to draw your attention to the fact that I think that the full moon in Gemini and Sun and Sag, that article is going to be very, very interesting, and I think that you should go and read it, because what's interesting is it's giving us the difference between the lens in which Gemini looks at things versus the lens at which Sagittarius looks at things. And although they are both mutable signs, the communication is night and day, where Sagittarius Mercury is in detriment, where Gemini's Mercury is domicile because it's at home. It is exalted in Virgo, which is always interesting to me, but this is what I am saying. So I just want to read this little excerpt of it. Gemini holds sway over the third house of communication, while Sagittarius governs the ninth house of truth and knowledge, collectively constituting the axis of the mind, right? Engaging with these energies allows a profound understanding of one's thought processes, information assimilation, and processing methods. It prompts introspection. Are new ideas embraced comfortably, or do they challenge your sense of reality, provoking defensiveness? Do you cling to narratives for comfort, or are you open to altering the stories you tell yourself, embracing the unknown, right? Is your thinking linear, or do you recognize the interconnectedness of all things? All right. Very, very interesting article. So I would advise that you basically go and give that a read. All right, now we're going to break out into the all signs. I, on my podcast, encourage you guys to listen from your sun and your rising. I know that other astrologers will break down the moon and blah, blah, blah. But honestly, guys, for me, if you're rocking with me, first of all, research the information and decide, rather than listening to anybody, what you want to do. But if you trust my opinion, when I read for my moon, which is Capricorn, it's always a distant reality. That makes sense. My rising is the most accurate. And even my sun, which is different, is like the subplot. So that's how I look at it when I watch from my big three. My rising is the star of the show. My sun, and this is for me when I'm doing mine, my sun sign is, when I read for that, is typically like it's like, I would say, a supporting actor. And then the moon is a distant reality. It may be going on, but I don't feel it as much. And if I had to give percentages, I don't know. I would probably say, I don't know. I don't want to. That's what happens when I get off into my analogies. So I would say out of 100%, I would say maybe definitely the rising would be, 85 of those percent. I mean, look, that's for me. Honestly, it's not even 50-50. So I can't even, maybe the analogy of the co-star is completely wrong. I would say 85% is definitely the rising. And now we have 15% to deal with. And I would honestly say, and then some of you guys is going to change. It just depends on whether you resonate more with your sun or your rising. Those of you that don't even know your rising sign have no choice but to default on the sun. And remember, the astrology is a little bit different as to what you resonate with in everyday life, because I resonate and operate out of my moon more so than anything. So that's different as well. But out of this 15% that's left, I can't even make the sun and the moon equal. So I would probably say 10% for me would be the sun, and then maybe 5% that's left of that 85% equaling 100 would be my moon. That's for me. So take it as it resonates, and you need to be mindful. It really depends on person to person. Because that's the reason why when you read a horoscope, it never applies to you, or you feel like that never happens. Because depending on the writer, they're going to tell you how they wrote their horoscopes. Okay. So this is, again, what I'm saying. You should read this from your rising and sign primarily, and your sun sign secondarily. And obviously, you already know where I stand on that. And with that being said, we move on to Aries and Aries rising. Before diving headlong into action, conduct thorough research, gather pertinent data, and rely on your local network. November's full moon is delivering vital information, and although some aspects may initially puzzle you, clarity often emerges in hindsight, Aries. So with a focus on your inquisitive third house, encompassing communication, thought processes, and immediate surroundings, your aspiration for the future may become a potent source of inspiration. Harnessing your resources and seeking assistance can transform challenging situations into unexpected blessings. Embrace alternate solutions and rise to the challenge of viewing the bigger picture from a different perspective. That's going to be in your third house, Aries. We move on to Taurus, Sun and Taurus rising. While change may be a daunting prospect for you, remaining within the confines of your comfort zone won't lead to the stability that you desire. What's causing your hesitance to explore different perspectives? That's a question. What is causing your hesitance to explore? November's full moon in Gemini signals a significant transformation in that resistance to mental rigidity, if I can speak, and dependencies, which is going to illuminate your security-oriented second house, which encompasses finances, creature comforts, and value systems. This lunar event prompts you to acknowledge the impermanence of all things and the inherent uncertainty of life. Beyond this full moon lies a realm of other possibilities. And contrary to your concerns, you already possess everything necessary. The message of this full moon is to adopt the mindset of abundance rather than scarcity. We move on to the star of the show, which is Gemini and Gemini rising. Lacking the answers compels you to rely on your accumulated experiences, okay? Your unique ability to empathize with both protagonists and antagonists stands out as one of your greatest strengths. In other words, you look at both sides of a situation. It's time to scrutinize your approach to others and assess how your relationships have evolved since the new moon in Gemini, which was back in June. Establishing clearer boundaries unveils the genuine sentiments others harbor for you, reflecting the level of respect in those connections and vice versa. Therefore, as this full moon unfolds, your journey towards self-actualization propels your identity and independence into a new dimension. Be assured the profound wisdom that you're tapping into will empower you to make even more daring moves in the times ahead. Allow this full moon to peel back a layer of your identity, setting the stage for a future self-discovery. I love that for you, Gemini. And of course, this is hitting you in the first house. We move on to Cancer and Cancer rising. As someone guided by the moon, the harbinger of inner wisdom, you're intimately familiar with the potent insights of your heightened intuition. Under November's full moon in Gemini, your intuitive faculties are particularly pronounced, illuminating the facets of your unconscious thought processes that may no longer serve a productive role in your daily life. Despite the uncertainty shrouding the future and your preference for a clearer picture of what lies ahead, it is essential, Cancer Collective, to embrace the unknown. Prepare for a breakthrough in your inner dialogue, extended from your mental processes to health habits, communication, and even your writing style. Allow the universe to take the lead, recognizing that your higher self possesses a clarity of direction, even when tomorrow's details remain elusive. Cancer, this is hitting you in your 12th house. We move on to Leo and Leo rising. Being ruled by the sun doesn't mandate that your radiance must cater to external expectations. Your authenticity naturally shines, and your creative prowess exudes talent independently of others' approval. With the focus on your 11th house of associations, community matters, and social contributions during November's full moon in Gemini, the cosmic guidance encourages a redirection in your energy toward endeavors that truly resonate with you, Leo, not those pressured by your peers. If the upkeep of superficial appearances and navigating social politics has hindered the cultivation of your unique strengths, then it's time to reclaim your power. This principle extends to your love life. Grant yourself the space to explore your options freely, unburdened by external influences. All right, Leo, that's hitting you in your 11th house. We move on to Virgo and Virgo rising. You often prefer taking the lead because you pride yourself on knowing, quotations, everything there is to know, thanks to the fact that you're ruled by the intelligent Mercury. But even leaders in those positions of authority can benefit from being humble, admitting when they're wrong and learning something from their followers. With the full moon peaking in Gemini in your 10th house of career, notoriety, and superiors, you're receiving insight that will challenge your perspective on something that may have started back in June 2023 of this year. Your family and upbringing have so much to do with your belief system, so make sure you change or challenge these beliefs moving forward. And of course, Virgo, that's hitting you in your 10th house. We move on to Libra and Libra rising. Curiosity is steering you toward uncharted territory. Yet challenges may emerge in your decision-making process, particularly in breaking free from ingrained habits. Even if the present moment seems too intricate to formulate new plans, it's crucial not to shy away from exploring fresh avenues. November's full moon in Gemini is energizing your expansive 9th house of self-discovery, unveiling insights into your long-term goals and your capacity to embrace faith in the future. By clearing your mind, Libra Collective, you can center your focus on a broader picture. It's important to recognize that evading commitment can sometimes masquerade as a subtle form of procrastination. Libra, that's hitting you in your 9th house. We move on to Scorpio and Scorpio rising. November's full moon in Gemini brings your intimate conversations and secrets shared with trusted confidants into the spotlight. This celestial event, radiating energy in your 8th house of mergers, joint ventures, and emotional exchanges, compels you to evaluate the value of your financial and energetic transactions over the long term. Your perceptions of intimacy and stability, Scorpio Collective, are undergoing a transformative shift, inevitably impacting the investments that you've initiated. Rather than hastily drawing conclusions or adhering to the rigidity of your established ways, this full moon offers an opportunity to explore alternate solutions. Whether this pertains to your love life or financial standing, the full moon may reveal instances where something or someone has been holding back what you rightfully deserve. Scorpio, that's hitting you in your 8th house. We move on to Sagittarius and Sagittarius rising. Clarity and communication is paramount during this full moon in Gemini. While you may not particularly dwell on the minor details, it's crucial to make room for your significant other's perspective. Despite your accustomed role as a teacher, the dynamics right now, Sage Collective, are shifting, reminding you that you are also a student. November's lunar influence will center on your 7th house of relationships, commitments, and contracts. And give me 1 second. I want to hear the way juxtaposed with the sun in the 1st house of self. Let's go into this. 1 second, guys.
Juxtapose.
Did you hear that? Exactly. You know me. I'm always trying to make sure that I pronounced it right. And this is one that I pronounce a lot. And I'm like, I always my mind wants to go somewhere else, because when you see the word and you pronounce it, it's just weird. Anyway, juxtaposed with your sun in your 1st house of self. Much of what unfolds depends on your perception of your identity. So even if your thoughts and feelings seem unclear presently, the forthcoming phase of your life will hinge more on the questions that you pose rather than the answers that you receive. You're being guided, Sagittarius, not to shy away from asking the challenging and intricate questions. And of course, that's hitting you in your 7th house. We move on to Capricorn and Capricorn rising. If a sense of confinement in your personal freedom is weighing on you, take a moment to ponder what might be contributing to this feeling of being cornered. It could be the demands of your day-to-day life, health considerations, a disconnection in your immediate surroundings, or even the incongruity between your expectations of happiness and its actual manifestation. If the quest for validation and recognition has left you feeling unfulfilled, it may be time to reassess whether your expectations align with your current reality. Don't shy away from exploring alternate options. This full moon in Gemini holds the potential to unveil information that could completely reshape your perspective and ultimately liberate you, Capricorn. Embrace the opportunity to receive new insights before passing judgment, allowing yourself the chance to break free of any perceived constraints. I love it. That's hitting you in your 6th house. We move on to Aquarius and Aquarius rising. Under the luminance of this full moon in Gemini, unexpected muses are emerging, and inspiration is finding you in unanticipated moments. Whether you're delving into a new creative endeavor or navigating the emotions of a heartfelt romance, you're being guided to allow yourself to expand without being confined by your usual approach. Okay? In simpler terms, grant yourself the freedom to enjoy the process, even if it means creating a bit of chaos along the way, which you should be no stranger to. The influences of Neptune and Saturn in your 2nd house of values, self-esteem, and may cast shadows on your self-belief. However, by setting aside your ego, you can summon the courage to express yourself authentically, wearing your heart on your sleeve, even if there's a risk of being misunderstood. The fear of being ordinary is nothing more than an illusion. Exciting insights await, but only if you muster the courage to take bold actions. Remember, it's better to have loved and lost than to never have loved at all. Now, although we did talk about Neptune and Saturn in your 2nd house of values, remember, Aquarius, this is hitting you in your 5th house of romance, okay? And last but certainly not least, we move on to Pisces and Pisces rising. While your drive to success or for success is commendable, it's crucial to ensure that amidst exploring new goals and pathways, you also communicate and articulate your internal dynamics. Recognize that you might not have the capability to accomplish everything on your personal agenda. And that's perfectly acceptable if I can speak today. The intricate facets of your family dynamics may unveil elements hindering your progress, prompting you to delve into perceptions of home and belonging and the influences that shape those views. The same force propelling you towards success aligns with your quest for security. So if you're still uncertain about the driving force behind your ambitions, Pisces, this full moon in Gemini promises an increased amount of clarity, which will pinpoint precisely what you should set your sights on next. And if you didn't guess, this is hitting you in your fourth house of home, family, and stability. That concludes it. Thank you for allowing me to blumber myself through it. I swear it seems like the more I lose my voice and I'm raspy, it's like my brain just cuts off and I can't talk. So thank you for allowing me to do that. I am not going to re-record this. I think this is on a roll. We accomplished it. Thank you so much again for lending me your ears in this full moon. Again, everything you need is below in the description box and in the pinned comment for you and your collective. I also want to let you know if you're interested in reading this article or reading anything else that I have written about this, please go on my website, www.marvelousmadam.com. Do click on the three, I believe, turquoise lines on the left side of your device or your desktop and open up the menu and go down to November 2023. Scroll down and you will see a link to this video and the entire article on this full moon in Gemini. And when the screen changes, this is obviously concluding the outro. When the screen changes, we will be in the video portion of this audio video podcast. Thanks, guys. Hello, guys, and welcome. This is going to be the video version of the audio video podcast highlighting the full moon in Gemini, just like I promised. So I did want to get into a little bit of the power wish, as we always do. This is a regular full moon, so we are going to get into the power wish. Whenever we're doing eclipses, we won't get into the book, but this is going to be considered a regular full moon, so we're going to get into it now. This is the book, and this is by Marie Kondo, and Kiko is here, and it's called The Power Wish for you guys if you want to follow along and get the book. So we're going to get into the Gemini power wishes. Ride the wave of opportunity with the new moon, but we're going to be saying goodbye to a monotonous life with the full moon. That is going to be our purpose right here, okay? Now, I'm just going to get into a little bit of this, and then we're going to go directly to the full moon page, all right? Good fortune is all about timing. No matter how talented you are or hard you work, if your timing isn't right, you will not get the results and the success, okay? And success becomes difficult. Whether your wish comes true also depends on the timing, guys. The zodiac sign that rules all of the timing of all things is Gemini. So if you think you always have terrible timing, you should make good use of Gemini power wishes. This is the reason why I wanted to read this little excerpt. Good timing is all about receiving the right information at the right time. If you have been searching for months and still can't find the connection or the information you need, it's highly likely that you lack the energy of a Gemini. Use the Gemini power wishes to attract the best information. Okay? Lady Luck is terrible, quick to run away. We need to be fast on our feet in order to nimbly ride one wave of opportunity after another. If you don't need to work hard to get luck, you don't need to work hard to get luck on your side. Once you use the Gemini power wishes to get yourself in the right place at the right time, luck will naturally find you. Now we're going to move to the star of the show, which is the Gemini power wish for the full moon. All right, so that's going to occur, guys, in late November to December. Let me get my wand. And then the themes and keywords are here. And I read this every new moon and full moon so you can kind of get a feeling of what the themes will be. So, lack of commitment, lack of focus, being easily bored, being flaky or two-faced, internet addiction, troubles or worries about the hands, arms, respiratory system, and seasonal allergies. All right. Now, the top two, these are the examples. I like to go through the examples so you can see how to write out your power wish. I am thankful that the information I always need comes to me at the perfect time. I am also grateful for many synchronicities that have been happening. Thank you so much. I am no longer shy around strangers. Lately, I'm having so much fun meeting new people. I'm so excited that my world is expanding. Thank you so much. Again, we show gratitude through this method, okay? Now, we have, these are some of the examples of things that you want to release, all right, with a full moon in Gemini. Romantic relationships and partnerships. I had my first conversation with Dylan, whom I've admired for a long time. We are now friends, and I can't wait to see how our relationship unfolds. Thank you so much. Career and business. I got a stimulating job that keeps me on my toes. It's so nice to be able to enjoy my work. Thank you so much. Finances. My social media campaign was a success, and my revenue has doubled. I'm going to keep riding this wave all the way. Thank you so much. Habits. Okay. I realize that I've been doing voice lessons for over a year now. I'm no longer the person who couldn't stick to anything. Thank you so much. Okay. I am now getting in the habit of listening and letting other people finish what they have to say before I speak. Thanks to this, I do not jump to conclusions nearly as much as I used to. Thank you so much. That's for habits and personality. Okay. We have health and beauty. Since moving to a new house by the beach, I've been miraculously relieved of seasonal allergies. I'm so glad I took a leap of faith and decided to move. Thank you so much. And finally, miscellaneous. I am deeply content that I can now go wherever I like, see whomever I like, and experience whatever I like. I feel so alive when I'm learning something new. Thank you so much. So those are some of the examples, guys, and we're going to go ahead and get out of the power wish and get into the pool. We are going to be going into the sign of the time oracle, and I'm going to be pulling for each of you in order of the Western Zodiac. All right. I'm not going to be, well, I think I got time to go into this. All right, let's go. Let's do one more. This is for Aries. This is for Aries. I actually like to not look at them. What do we got for Aries, Spirit? Aries. Traffic cone, Aries. And the energy. The energy of 32. Traffic cone. Can you see that? There you go. All right. So, traffic cone. This is what we have. I'm just going to give you a little blurb. Think before you act. Delays lay ahead. Omens are feeling blocked. Okay? Caution. I don't know what 32 means to you, but that is, to me, a sign of instability, change, and conflict because it's in the energy of a 5. What does 32 mean to you? We move on to Taurus. And Taurus rising. Rainbow. Hope. The energy of 6. Rainbow. Okay? What does 6 mean? Uh-oh. That's me. What does 6 mean to you? Taurus. Better days ahead. Let go of previous struggles, inspiration from children, and keep the faith. I love it. Gemini, the star of the show, and Gemini rising. This is for Gemini and Gemini rising. Gemini. Thank you. Bullseye. Focus. Okay. What does 40 mean to you? All right. The card of 40 for Gemini. Minimize your distractions. Increase the tension or interest in you is coming, and your goal is near. All right? Cancer and Cancer rising. All right. You have the card of Globe, possibility, and the energy of 31. This is for Cancer. And I know that I'm saying Cancer and Cancer rising. It's automatically ingrained in my brain, guys, when I'm doing astrological things. But it is for, when I pull these cards, they are for really any Cancer placement. It's just something that I'm used to saying. Or Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. It doesn't matter. So please don't take it to heart, okay? A new journey is on the horizon, Cancer. Successful completion, upcoming travel or online communication or travel plans. Nice. All right. Leo and Leo rising. Too many. I'm going to take this one off the top. Feather, messages, and the energy of 7. 7 to me, I'm feeling reassessment and choices. What does 7 mean to you? That you're on the right path according to this book. You're on the right path. Pay attention to the messages. Someone wants to communicate with you. Look out for a meaningful call, text, or an email, Leo. Beautiful. Virgo. All right. Virgo. What do we have for Virgo, Spirit? I'm not going to take both. The Cowrie shell. Abundance. Beautiful energy. And the energy of 25. That's another 7. All right. Could be choices. The Cowrie shell. Just to let you know. Cowrie shell has been used as currency for centuries, just in case you don't know what this shell means. And people still adorn themselves with this shell in the form of jewelry and charms, okay? This means that this is a successful project, a job offer, a fertile time, or an harvest season. Congratulations on that, Virgo, in this full moon in Gemini. Libra. What do we have for Libra? Ancestry. 42. Tree. It's funny because I make shirts. Libra rising here. That is so crazy. What do we have for that? So 6. Things are coming into balance. But place offerings at the altar. Connect with ancestral practices. Spend time learning your family. Family may be growing, okay, for some of you. Find strength and comfort where you come from. All right, this is about the roots, where you come from, Libra. Beautiful. Scorpio. What do we have for Scorpio? Scorpio. Uh-oh. Never give up. Phrases. Motivation. Another 6, 2, and 4. What does that mean to you? Motivation is here. All right. Motivation. 24. Messages are being sent to you via words, via phrases and songs. Find inspiration, Scorpio, in your surroundings, okay? That's what this means. Your projects are supported. Create your own personal list of affirmations to keep you on track. Identify what motivates you, or confirmation. This is beautiful. Wow, okay. All right. What do we have for my Sagittarius? Let's go ahead and do a shuffle. Just to make sure we are Sagittarius. Sagittarius. All right. Knots. Uh-oh. Relationships. 35 is 8. Relationships, knots. All right. Let's see what we have. It feels like to me walking away for some of you guys. Or unbreakable bonds, tying the knot, working out the kinks, loyalty, or making a commitment. All right? Maybe you walked away and now you're coming back. Congratulations on this. I like that. All right, we move on to Capricorn. Uh-oh. There we go. You got succulents. I love it. Resilience. 9, 10, 11. This is the 11 for you. Capricorn, you have resilience. I love that. In the energy of 38. What does 38 mean to you? Succulents is about enduring love. Okay? Discovering your inner strength. Good fortune is coming your way. Whatever endeavor will be long lasting that is currently that you're embarking on. Growth sparked by adversity. You may receive a gift. And finally, making future plans. Wow, congratulations, Cap. All right, we move on to Aquarius and Aquarius rising. Oh, there we go. Labyrinth, journey, and the energy of 15. Another 6. A lot of balance this moon, which is interesting because Gemini does represent both sides, right? So that's interesting. This is going to be, or you're going to be embarking on a pivotal moment in your spiritual journey. Some of you guys are going to be experiencing your Saturn return. All right, Aquas. Major life changes in career and or relationships, and you're being guided to embrace self-discovery. I love that. The keywords will be down in the description box for these in case you have this deck or you want to know what. Okay, Pisces. We're going to go with that. In case you want to know for reference. And finally, water, surrender. Okay, Pisces. You got the card 9, 10, 11, 12. Comes back down to a 3. You're being guided to surrender something or surrender to something. All right. In the energy of 39, you are a water sign. This is not a coincidence. And what's interesting is that you are a water sign. That's the interesting part. This is the feminine energy, emotional healing and growth. You're being guided to let go of your control issues. Use your intuition. Stay fluid and drink water. All right. And that concludes the video portion of the audio video podcast. Everything will be timestamped for you, as well as your cards will be referenced. For those of you who wanted to know, we're going to go ahead and do a shout out to my beautiful nail tech, the villain. And she did the sun and she did the moon. I thought that that was really par for the course. You know, these are really, really pretty. These are hand drawn. She drew that herself. Very, very talented. Can't wait to see what we create going down the line. But enough nail therapy. Everything you guys need is below in the description box for you and your collective. Thank you so much for lending me your ears and rocking with me. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.